Today we're going to talk about the top 8 malls to own if you want to be an investor in them. Now of course you have to own it through a REIT, but today I have 8 malls that I put up on the Telegram group to get feedback which is the most popular. And if you stay on to the end, I'll reveal who the winner is. In fact, it garnered more than half the total number of valid votes. So I also do a shout out to some of my favorite restaurants when I visit these malls. So if you're intrigued about who they are, continue watching on. Hi guys, welcome back. Number 8 on today's list is actually Suntec Mall. I'm a bit surprised because I do like Suntec Mall quite a bit. In fact, one of my favorite restaurants, Just Dough, is over there. So every 2-3 weeks, I do bring my boy down just to buy their bun. And he has red bean bun, he has sweet potato bun, very unique buns. If you haven't tried it, a shout out to them. I think they are a nice eatery that deserves a bit more mention. So Suntec Mall I've covered extensively. If you're keen on it, I'll actually leave the links above to find out more about Suntec Mall. The occupancy rate for it has recovered a bit. Right now it stands above 93%. But when you buy Suntec Mall, do note that you also will buy the convention center, which they have a small stake in. You also buy Suntec City Office. Now Office is where Suntec REIT actually focuses a lot of its assets moving forward. They are buying in Australia, they are buying in UK. And my personal opinion is Suntec REIT has been doing a lot of recycling properly, which is good. The REIT manager is active. And my guess is, since ARA is so active in investing and privatization, I think Suntec REIT always stands a chance that, its parent might buy it back someday. Just my thought as I continue to monitor this REIT. Number 7 on today's list is Raffles City. Now, I used to meet my girlfriend, who is now my wife, in Raffles City MRT all the time because it's such a centrally located place. We walk around to Marina Square and stuff. So Raffles City holds a very close place to my heart. But Raffles City has seen a lot of changes over the years, and I'll use that to really elaborate what has changed on the retail front. Because this is a good article that I've picked up on it. And this article is actually written by an associate professor in marketing, Mr. Prem. And this relates to the fall of Robinson. Robinson used to occupy the first 2 levels in Raffles City. And as he's mentioned, companies such as Neiman Marcus, JCPenney have actually filed for bankruptcy. In US, Nordstrom and Macy's are also restructuring and needing a lot of capital to fight off online competition. Designer brands such as Gucci, LV, Chanel have all used to retail a lot in departmental stores, but increasingly they are going direct to consumer. In the past, it was all about location when it comes to setting up a retail business, but it may no longer be relevant. Now take note of this wisdom, because if you are looking to set up a small shop front, the world moving forward may not be so location based. You do not spend big monies in top shopping malls. You can bring your business online, you can retail it online, and if you're smart about it, you can reduce your overall costs and be a lot more viable. He also mentioned that Robinson and Isetan have adopted a location-based strategy of competitive saturation in high traffic locations, but they may no longer be viable already. However, chain stores such as Starbucks, and if I can throw in McDonald's also, are still able to do this high proximity, high location method of saturating competition. I guess for F&B, location still holds a value because when we walk by McDonald's, we suddenly feel hungry. We go in and buy. Whereas when we want to buy a rice cooker, we don't have that urgency. So food can still saturate for location. Location of food is still very important. But if you're retail, then you need to be smart. You need to have guerrilla tactics and move your things online. So if you go down to Raffles City today, you would see it's now changed to one assembly. And within it, there's actually the Tesla showroom. I've actually went down myself where I did a staycation in Fairmont. And the meeting was about bringing my son to see cutting edge technology that Tesla cars offer. So this is a quick shot. It's very cool, the car. My first experience with it. And I've always mentioned on this channel that Tesla cars seems to be selling very well and it could push COE prices next year further upwards. So if you agree on the points, smash the like button and leave any questions you have in the comment sections below. Let's move on to number 6 on today's list, who is Paragon. I don't know much about Paragon because I don't spend a lot of time there, but I do know, of course, they are the biggest component of SPH REIT. Now, SPH is doing this major takeover competition between Cuscaden as well as Keppel. It looks like if it goes to Cuscaden, they could eventually fall to HPL, Hotel Properties Limited, who is helmed by Mr. Ong Beng Seng. In my opinion, SPH REIT now is a bit too late to join in the saga. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Investing in it, let's wait for it to iron out who's the real owner subsequently before getting invested. But Paragon has always seen good traffic. When I drive by there, I do see the crowds. And my guess is the crowd over there is interested in fine dining and luxury brands. Number 5 on today's list is Takashimaya. And Taka is actually owned by Starhill Global REIT. Starhill Global REIT, they also own Wisma. And if you can see this breakdown, these are its two biggest components in terms of revenue and assets. I drive by Orchard and I see Taka is packed. There's domestic workers over there, of course. But I guess with VTLs and foreigners traveling into Singapore, Taka is a must-visit place to shop. There's luxury brand, there's good food over there. The property has aged pretty well in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of Starhill Global REIT because it always seemed to be this value trap, whereby price to book wise it's always cheap, but there's no new assets that the REIT has been buying. And from my understanding, the next possible outcome is they could buy Isetan's stake in Wisma, and that could boost its assets. But all in all, I've always felt it was a boring REIT, but share price has actually recovered somewhat, as you can see in this chart over here. Number 4 on today's list is Causeway Point, the crown jewel of Frasers Centrepoint Trust. Now, Causeway Point, I've only visited there, I guess, at most 5 times. And it's mainly because I have a close friend who works in Woodlands in a dental clinic. So when I visit her, I've eaten at Causeway Point a few times, but I'm really not too familiar. So if you're a big fan of Causeway Point, some good eatery that you want to help do a shout out, leave in the comment sections below. My concern about Causeway Point is that will traffic drop after JB starts opening up in 2022? We never know, because right now a lot of Singaporeans in the north can't travel to JB to shop, so they are going to the Heartlands Mall, and Causeway Point is one of them. Frasers Centrepoint Trust actually focuses a lot on Heartland malls. They not only own that, they own also the Yishun one, as well as Tiong Bahru Plaza. So Frasers Centrepoint Trust is actually well run as a REIT, and I've actually previously guessed wrongly that Heartland malls would start to underperform city centre malls, because as people move back from work from home, they'll start going back to offices. So the crowd is going back into the town itself. But I didn't foresee at that point of time more variations of COVID-19 that cause and delay more work from home to be reverted back to office work. So if you're confident about Causeway Point's traffic, Frasers Centrepoint Trust might be a REIT that you are interested in. Number 3 on today's list is the mall I visit a lot more often, Plaza, Singapura. This is the crown jewel of CICT, Capital Integrated Commercial Trust. As you can see in this summary table over here, Plaza Sing is the biggest asset that they have in terms of malls. It's bigger than Bugis Junction, it's bigger than Tampines Mall. The total worth for Plaza Sing is about $1.4 billion. Not only that, Plaza Sing has always seen a very strong occupancy, 100% if not close to it. And that actually shows how well run capital malls are. So my favorite restaurant in Plaza Sing is actually Tamoya Udon. It's on level 5 and it's actually pretty affordable. For a family meal, we spend about $25 thereabouts. So if you're a fan of Plaza Sing and you want other top quality malls, CICT, Capital Integrated Commercial Trust, might be a REIT that you are keen in. Number 2 on today's list is another mall that I visit quite often, but not as much as number 1, which I'll review in a quick while. Coming in at number 2 is 313 Somerset. 313 Somerset is actually owned by Lendlease Global Commercial REIT. And Lendlease has recently announced that they have managed to raise rental rates for some of its retail outlets over there. So I think that's good news if you are invested into Lendlease REIT. And it seems that they have been building assets through acquisition of stakes, like the one in Gem, and more recently the car park redevelopment that's right beside 313 Somerset. I go to 313's food court quite often. There is Mark Li Guo Huang's pastry shop over there. So if you see me in 313 Somerset food court, do say hi also. Number 1 on today's list, drum rolls. A mall that I've covered extensively on this channel. A mall that I'm super familiar that I go to the car park to shortcut moving around the mall because on top it's so crowded and so difficult to navigate. I find the car park a lot more easier to shortcut, where people get lost in the car park itself. This mall is the biggest mall in Singapore, Vivocity. With a total of 30 valid votes, Vivocity garnered 16 votes. And that doesn't come as a big surprise because this mall is hugely popular. If you go over there on weekends, you'll see it's packed, even though the square feet total area is so big. So for myself, sometimes I park within, sometimes I park opposite in CICT just to walk over because car park can be really packed even on weekends. Throughout these years, Vivocity has seen multiple upgrades. Right now, they are bringing Shake Shack, they've expanded certain areas, and in recent years brought in the library itself. And I've actually a restaurant to shout out. This is Green Common, right in the corner of Vivocity. It's less crowded than many restaurants, and Green Common actually serves vegetarian food. But their vegetarian food is not the plain boring veggies. You see over there very trendy food, burgers, fries. You also see pastas that's vegetarian. So if you're keen on Vivocity, it's actually owned by Mapletree Commercial Trust. Just in case you haven't seen recent news, Mapletree Commercial Trust may be acquiring Mapletree North Asia Commercial Trust. And this acquisition has actually seen market responding quite adversely to it. You see the price chart over here, you realize that Mapletree Commercial Trust's share price has tumbled significantly, correct? My personal view is that there's nothing wrong with the assets. It's probably a problem of the acquisition price. And as developments unfold in the coming months ahead, I hope to update you through this channel, so do subscribe and stay tuned for it. And in any case, if you're keen to find out some details of the acquisition, check out this previous tutorial I've done before. Alternatively, you can check out Suntec REIT, which I think is also equally well run, that owns a bit more office assets and is expanding globally. So follow either of these tutorials to learn a bit more. With that, I'll sign off from here and see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.